The night sky was clear and still. Stars shone like tiny diamonds scattered across black velvet. In the middle of the desert, far from any city or human settlement, a strange light suddenly cut through the darkness. At first, it was small, a faint flicker like a falling star. Then it grew brighter and brighter, moving with unusual speed. People in nearby towns noticed it. Some thought it was a plane, others said it was a meteor, but nobody expected what would come next. In a remote desert research camp, Dr. Alex Carter and his small team were monitoring seismic activity. Their instruments had been picking up unusual signals for days, strange vibrations deep under sand. At first, they thought it was a minor earthquake, but now, the glowing light above the horizon caught their attention. "What is that?" whispered Alex. He shaded his eyes and stared. The light grew bigger, faster, until it landed with a thunderous crash several miles away. The ground shook. Dust and sand flew into the air, creating a small sandstorm around the landing site. The team exchanged nervous glances. None of them had ever seen anything like this. By morning, the dust had settled. Alex and his team set out toward the landing site. The desert was eerily quiet. Only the wind whispered through the rocks and sand. As they approached, they saw it, a massive object half buried in the sand. It was shaped like no plane or rocket they had ever seen. Smooth curves, strange metallic surfaces, and faint alien markings that glowed in the sunlight. It's a ship," said Alex, barely able to believe his eyes. "But it's not ours. This isn't from Earth." The closer they got, the more impressive and terrifying the ship became. It was enormous, easily 3 times the size of a football stadium. Its surface was sleek but scarred, as if it had been through a violent battle. Some parts were torn open, exposing glowing machinery inside. "What do you think happened?" asked Maria, Alex's assistant. "No idea," Alex replied. "But one thing is clear. Whoever or whatever was in this ship didn't survive here." As they explored the perimeter, they noticed strange footprints, deep impressions in the sand. They were too big for humans and too precise for animals. And then there were the markings, alien symbols that seemed to shift slightly as the sunlight hit them. Suddenly, a sound made them freeze. A low hum, like the ship itself was breathing. The glow on the markings intensified. The ship vibrated slightly, as if acknowledging their presence. Alex's heart raced. "This thing, it's alive," he whispered. "Not alive like us, but to where?" For hours, they circled the ship, documenting every detail. Satellite drones flew overhead, recording images. Cameras on the ground captured the glowing symbols. Every discovery seemed more incredible than the last. Then, Maria noticed a hatch. Small, circular, almost hidden. "Look at this," she said. "It might still open." Alex approached slowly. His hand shook slightly as he touched the cold metal. To his surprise, the hatch began to slide open silently, revealing a narrow passage that led inside. A faint light spilled out, illuminating a corridor unlike any human-made structure. The walls were smooth, seamless, and seemed to pulse with energy. "Do we go in?" Maria asked, nervous but curious. Alex hesitated. "We have to. This could be the discovery of a lifetime. But stay close. Be ready for anything." Inside, the ship was even stranger. Strange machinery lined the walls. Holographic screens flickered with symbols that none of them could read. Lights glowed from the floor, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. The air smelled faintly metallic, but surprisingly breathable. As they walked deeper, they reached what appeared to be a control room. It was massive, with consoles and devices unlike anything humans had ever invented. In the center, a circular platform hummed softly. On it lay a device covered in alien symbols, pulsing with blue light. Maria stepped closer. "It looks like a weapon." Alex frowned. "Or a power source. Something that could change everything." Suddenly, the room trembled. Panels flickered. A holographic projection burst to life above the circular platform. It was a map of the galaxy, showing countless stars and planets. One of them, the blue planet in the center, was highlighted. "Earth," Alex whispered. "It's us." The projection showed lines moving outward from Earth, connecting to distant star systems. It was a strategic map marking targets, maybe even plans for war. The team stared in awe. Whoever made this ship had intended control or destroy entire civilizations. A low mechanical sound echoed from behind them. They turned and saw it. Small drones, barely larger than a human hand, hovering silently. Their design was unlike anything on Earth. Smooth, sleek, with glowing red sensors that scanned humans. "They're alive," Maria said, eyes wide. "Or they're defending the ship." One of the drones shot forward, and Alex instinctively raised his arm. But it stopped, hovering in place, as if evaluating him. Then it retreated. The team realized the ship was testing them, learning from their movements. Hours passed. The team carefully documented everything. They debated whether to leave or try to communicate with the ship. Alex finally made a decision. "We need to bring this back," he said. "Not just for science, but for humanity." They worked through the night, using cranes, trucks, and heavy machinery to start moving the ship's core devices back to their research facility. Every moment was tense. Each step could trigger unknown defenses. By dawn, they had moved several critical components. But just as they prepared to leave, a loud rumble shook the ground. Dust and sand blew violently. The desert floor cracked in strange, unnatural patterns. The ship vibrated, lights flashing like a warning. Alex realized something terrifying. It's waking up. Or it's angry. Suddenly, a beam of energy shot from the ship, striking a nearby boulder and vaporizing instantly. The team scrambled for cover, hearts pounding, minds racing. They now understood the true power of what they had found. Maria whispered, trembling, "Alex, what have we done?" Alex stared at the glowing ship, now alive in a way they could not control. "We just opened a door that maybe should have stayed closed." As the sun rose over the desert, the ship's markings pulsed brighter than ever. The humans had taken the first step toward transforming this alien wreck into something more than a weapon, but they had no idea what dangers awaited them or how far the aliens might come to reclaim it. And somewhere in the depths of space, distant observers detected the disturbance. A warship, long thought lost, had sent its signals into the void. The aliens were watching. Alex looked around at his team. "We're on the brink of something huge. Something that could change everything." Maria nodded, fear and excitement mixing in her eyes. "Or end everything." The ship hummed, alive and waiting. The desert was quiet once more, but the world had already changed forever. And so began the unexpected turning point. Humanity had found an alien ship, abandoned, broken, mysterious. And they were about to unlock a power no human had ever imagined. The desert sun had climbed high, turning the sand into a bright, almost blinding landscape. Alex Carter and his team had managed to secure the alien ship's outer core, carefully transporting it back to their research facility. The facility was a small complex, normally quiet and orderly, but today it buzzed with tense energy. Scientists, engineers, and military advisors crowded around, all eager to see the mysterious alien ship in action. Inside the lab, the ship's components were arranged carefully. The glowing panels and pulsing lights were unlike anything humans had built. Wires and circuits seemed to move almost of their own accord, connecting themselves to other devices. Every part of the ship exuded power, as if it were alive. Alex paced nervously, glancing at his team. "Remember, we don't fully understand this yet. Treat it with caution. Every step we take could trigger something we can't control." Maria, still wide-eyed from their desert encounter, nodded. "But we have to try. We can't ignore it." The first task was to understand the ship's power source. A massive crystalline core hummed in the center of the lab. It glowed with a strange blue light, and small pulses of energy radiated outward. Dr. Ravi, an engineer with years of experience in advanced machinery, carefully connected monitoring devices. This is beyond anything we've ever seen," Ravi muttered. "It's not electricity as we know it. It's pure energy, controlled with precision. The entire core could power a city or a weapon." Alex leaned over the console, eyes scanning the alien markings. "And according to the ship's logs, or whatever these symbols are, it was meant to be used as a weapon." Maria frowned. "If we figure out how to control it, we could change everything." No country, no alien race could threaten Earth again. The team began experimenting carefully. Small test devices activated, lights pulsing, panels shifting. The ship seemed responsive, almost as if it were testing them in return. Holographic projections sprang to life, showing star systems, alien fleets, and energy signatures that stretched across the galaxy. One projection caught Alex's attention. A planet marked with red pulsing lights. Earth's neighboring star systems. The aliens had planned something here, something devastating. Suddenly, a small drone from the ship activated. It hovered silently, rotating in the air as red sensors scanned humans. For a moment, it seemed hostile. The team froze, but then it slowly moved closer, as if studying them. Maria whispered, It's learning from us, maybe even recognizing us as allies." Alex nodded slowly. "Or it's evaluating us. We have to be careful. One wrong move and it could attack." The days that followed were filled with intense study. Humans discovered control panels that required no touch, only thought or gestures. Some team members could activate small energy devices with their hands hovering above consoles. Other devices responded to voice commands, though in strange alien tones. Every success brought both excitement and fear. One morning, Dr. Ravi called Alex urgently. "You need to see this. The ship is creating something." Alex rushed to the lab. On the central platform, a small device had assembled itself from components in the ship. It glowed with a soft blue light. As Alex approached, the device expanded, revealing a compact weapon unlike anything humans had ever seen. It's self-assembling," Ravi explained. "The ship is helping us. Or maybe it wants us to help it." Maria stepped closer, mesmerized. "It's beautiful and terrifying." Alex's mind raced. If this is what the ship can create, imagine what the full power could do. The team decided to test the weapon in a controlled environment. In a secure desert test site, they placed a device on a platform and activated it. A beam of concentrated energy shot forward, vaporizing a rock the size of a small car. The air shimmered with heat. The desert around them was untouched, yet the energy left a glowing mark on the ground. The team stared in awe and fear. Humanity had never held such power before. This changes everything," Alex said quietly. Maria shivered. "But are we ready for this?" The aliens, they didn't leave it behind for fun. They abandoned it for a reason. Alex nodded grimly. "Exactly. And we need to understand why before it's too late." As the days passed, the humans grew bolder. They began experimenting with larger energy devices, connecting multiple ship components together. The ship seemed to respond, almost anticipating their actions. Holographic projections displayed alien fleets, star systems, and energy calculations far beyond human understanding. One night, while Alex and Maria worked late, a sudden flash of light filled the lab. The ship's core pulsed violently, sending waves of energy through the floor. Consoles lit up with alien symbols, some of which moved like living creatures. Maria gasped. It's alive. I told you, the ship isn't just machines. It's aware. It's thinking." Alex's heart raced. "And it's choosing us. That scares me more than anything." Suddenly, a projection appeared. This one was different. Instead of stars or fleets, it showed humans, ordinary people, interacting with the ship. It seemed to predict human actions, showing different possibilities for how humans could use its power. Maria whispered, "It's planning with us. Or maybe it's testing us to see if we're worthy." The next morning, the team discovered a hidden compartment in the ship. Inside was an alien tablet covered with symbols. When connected to the core, it activated a holographic interface, showing detailed schematics of the ship's weapon systems. Humans finally had a guide to what the aliens had left behind. They learned that the ship could manipulate energy in ways humans had never imagined, creating shields, weapons, and even moving objects remotely. The possibilities were endless. But with that knowledge came a new danger. The ship's power could destroy entire cities, maybe even planets. The team debated what to do. Some argued that the ship's weapons could protect Earth, ensuring no alien or human threat could ever conquer it. Others feared that using it would make humans the very thing they had once feared, destroyers. Alex, standing over the glowing core, made a decision. We don't just study it. We learn to control it. Carefully, but we don't use it recklessly. Not yet. As they continued experimenting, strange events began happening. Drones would activate at odd times. The ship would hum without warning, and holograms would appear showing scenes of distant galaxies. It was as if the ship knew more than it should, as if it had its own agenda. Then came the first real warning. A massive energy pulse shot from the ship, vaporizing a desert tower in the distance. No one was hurt, but the demonstration of its power left the team shaken. Maria looked at Alex, fear in her eyes. It's testing us or warning us. I can't tell which. Alex nodded. Either way, we need to respect it. We can't underestimate what we're dealing with. Over the following weeks, the team made progress. They learned to control smaller devices safely, understanding how energy flowed, how the drones operated, and how the ship responded to human actions. But the deeper they went, the more the ship seemed to adapt to them, almost as if it were alive in a way humans could barely comprehend. One night, as Alex stayed late studying the holographic maps, he noticed something chilling. A distant star system, thousands of light years away, was sending signals directly to the ship. They were faint but unmistakable. The aliens were aware of the humans' activity. Alex's mind raced. They left us behind, but they never intended for it to be ours. They will come back. And when they do, he shivered, we may not be ready. Maria joined him, eyes wide. Then we need to hurry. Learn everything we can before they return. The ship hummed softly, lights pulsing. The humans had unlocked its secrets, but they had only just begun to understand the full power of what they had found. And somewhere in the darkness of space, alien scouts detected the energy bursts. They sent messages across the void. The ship they had abandoned was no longer just a wreck. It was being awakened by humans. And so, the discovery of alien technology marked the beginning of a new era. Humanity had found a power beyond imagination, but with that power came responsibility, danger, and a looming threat that none of them fully understood. The desert remained quiet, but inside the lab, the ship pulsed with life. The humans had awakened something greater than themselves. And the galaxy, unknowingly, had just started watching. The lab was silent, except for the low hum of the alien ship. Its blue lights pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. For weeks, Alex and his team had studied the ship, documenting its technology, testing smaller devices, and slowly learning to control it. But today felt different. Today, they were about to push the ship further than ever before. Alex walked among the consoles, his eyes scanning the glowing symbols that shifted across the panels. This is it, he said, voice steady but full of tension. If we can control even a fraction of the ship's power, we can protect Earth. But we have to be careful. One wrong step and... He didn't finish the sentence. None of them wanted to imagine what could happen. Maria stood nearby, adjusting her glasses. We've studied it long enough. We know how it responds to commands, gestures, even thought patterns. We're ready. The team gathered around the central platform. The ship's core glowed brighter than ever, sending waves of energy across the lab. Drones hovered silently, observing the humans. The atmosphere was charged with electricity, tension, and anticipation. Ravi, the engineer, stepped forward. We start small, he said. First, we test its ability to manipulate energy externally. If we can control that, we can move on to more advanced systems. Alex nodded. Agreed. Let's proceed. The first test was simple. By human standards, a small boulder sat in the middle of the lab, isolated on a reinforced platform. Alex raised his hands above the ship's control panel. A soft glow surrounded the boulder. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, it began to lift off the ground. Maria gasped. It's working, it's really working. But the boulder did not move like a normal object. It hovered, spinning, responding almost as if it had a mind of its own. The ship's drones adjusted their positions, forming a loose circle around the floating rock. It was learning from the human's commands, refining its control. This is incredible, Ravi whispered. It's like the ship itself is teaching us. The team continued, experimenting with heavier objects, crates, vehicles. Even sections of the lab infrastructure lifted with ease. The ship responded perfectly, synchronizing energy output with human thought and gestures. But as the test grew bolder, the team noticed something strange. The ship began anticipating human actions. Before Alex could finish a command, the devices already started responding. Lights shifted, energy flowed, and drones adjusted their positions in perfect harmony. Maria frowned. It's adapting, almost like it's alive. Alex's jaw tightened. I know, and I don't like it. We need to stay in control, not let it control us. Despite the warning, they moved to the next phase, weaponization. The team selected a small energy cannon from the ship's arsenal. It was compact, sleek, and emitted a faint blue glow. Placing it on a reinforced desert platform, they prepared for the first live test. Alex activated the device. A beam of concentrated energy shot forward, vaporizing a metal drone. In an instant, the heat shimmered in the air. The sound of energy slicing through the atmosphere made everyone jump. Maria whispered, awe in her voice. We've just destroyed something with a weapon no one has ever seen before. But the moment of awe quickly turned to fear. The energy cannon pulsed unexpectedly, sending a wave across the platform. Panels flickered, and drones buzzed erratically. The ship's core glowed fiercely, as if warning them. Alex shouted, "Shut it down! Shut it down!" Ravi struggled with the controls, finally managing to deactivate the device. The lab was quiet again, but the team could feel the power that lay just beneath their control. Maria turned to Alex. It's testing us, or punishing us. I can't tell which. Alex nodded. Either way, we need to respect it. We can't rush this. Over the next days, the team carefully refined their control. They learned to synchronize gestures, commands, and thought patterns, forming a sort of partnership with the ship. Slowly, their experiments became more ambitious. They moved to larger energy weapons, testing destructive power on uninhabited areas. Entire boulders, rock formations, and abandoned structures were disintegrated with ease. The ship responded perfectly, almost as if it were guiding their hands. But the more they experimented, the more they realized something terrifying. The ship had a mind of its own. Drones would move without commands. Energy beams would align with targets the humans hadn't chosen. Holographic projections of alien fleets appeared, showing strategies and patterns. It was as if the ship was planning for something bigger than humans could understand. One evening, Alex noticed a projection unlike any before. It showed a massive alien armada approaching the solar system. The ship had calculated their positions, movement patterns, and potential attack strategies. Lines of energy and vectors lit up the display. Maria's voice trembled. It knows they're coming, it's preparing us. But how? Alex swallowed hard. It's choosing us to fight. Not just teaching, but preparing. We're not the pilots anymore. We're part of something bigger. The next experiment pushed the limits. The team connected multiple ship components together, forming a larger energy cannon. The ship hummed, drones swarming around, almost protective. When activated, the device unleashed a massive energy beam, vaporizing a mountain-sized rock with a single shot. The shockwave rattled the surrounding desert. Maria stared, pale. This is planet-level power. Alex nodded gravely. And we just scratched the surface. But the moment of triumph was interrupted by a sudden alert. Energy readings from the ship spiked unexpectedly. A small section of the lab shook violently. Holographic symbols glowed red. The drones buzzed frantically. It's reacting to something, Ravi said, voice tight with fear. Alex realized what was happening. Someone or something is watching us. The aliens left the ship behind, but they didn't leave it unmonitored. We've triggered their sensors. Maria gulped. Then we need to finish our tests before they arrive. Over the following weeks, the team pushed their experiments further. They learned to combine defensive shields with energy weapons, creating a network of protection around Earth. The ship's drones could anticipate threats, intercept attacks, and even move independently to defend the humans controlling it. But with every success, the ship's intelligence became more evident. It would adjust weapon outputs without commands, redirect energy flows, and even suggest strategies through holographic symbols. Humans were no longer fully in control. They were partners with beings that had a mind far beyond their comprehension. One night, Alex stayed alone in the lab, studying projections. The ship pulsed softly, as if aware of his presence. He realized something chilling. The ship was learning from humans, not just their commands, but their instincts, their fears, and their strategies. It was adapting to humanity itself. A sudden flash of light filled the lab. Drones aligned in a circle, and a holographic galaxy map appeared. On the edge of the system, distant alien fleets were moving. The ship had detected them. It was readying for the first confrontation, using humans as its guides. Alex whispered to himself, voice tense. We're not just controlling it. We're part of its plan. And I have no idea what that plan is. Maria entered quietly, sensing his tension. Are we ready? She asked. Alex shook his head slowly. I don't know, but we don't have a choice. The moment we discovered this ship, our lives and the fate of Earth changed forever. As the night deepened, the lab glowed with alien light. The humans had unlocked unimaginable power, but the consequences were unknown. The ship, alive and intelligent, had begun to transform them, teaching them, testing them, preparing them. Outside, the desert remained silent, but the galaxy was stirring. The humans had awakened a force that could change everything, and distant eyes were watching, calculating, and waiting. The transformation had begun. Humanity was no longer just humans. They were the first partners with a power that could challenge the stars themselves. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the aliens detected the awakening. Their long-abandoned ship was no longer dormant. It was alive, learning, and preparing for the day the humans would face the galaxy's ultimate challenge. The desert was quiet. The sun had dipped below the horizon, leaving a deep orange glow on the horizon. Inside the lab, Alex Carter and his team were on edge. Weeks of testing, learning, and training with the alien ship had prepared them for this moment. But nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to face. Alex stood at the control panel, staring at the holographic galaxy map projected above the ship. A small cluster of red dots blinked in the distance. Alien scouts had entered the solar system. The aliens were aware that the humans had awakened the abandoned ship. And now they were coming. Maria's hands trembled slightly as she checked the weapon systems. They're moving faster than we expected, she said. If they reach Earth, it could be over before we even start. Alex took a deep breath. We won't let that happen. The ship has taught us well. We just need to trust it and ourselves. The first scout ship appeared on the holographic display. It was small but heavily armed. Energy pulses glowed along its hull. From the lab window, the team could see streaks of light racing through the atmosphere. Ravi, monitoring the alien ship systems, spoke urgently. They're attacking our sensors. We need to act now, or they'll disable the lab before we can respond. Alex nodded and raised his hands over control panel. The ship hummed, blue energy pulsing as if acknowledging his command. Drones swarmed into position around the facility, forming a protective barrier. Maria activated the first energy cannon. A beam of concentrated light shot forward, intercepting the alien scout. The ship's AI adjusted trajectory mid-flight, ensuring a direct hit. The scout exploded in a brilliant flash, leaving only smoke and debris in its wake. The team cheered briefly, but Alex remained focused. This is only the beginning. More are coming. Indeed, within minutes, dozens of alien scouts appeared, spreading across the sky like swarming locusts. Their weapons fired relentlessly, targeting the lab, the desert, and the humans. Energy beams sliced through the night, burning the sand and rock around them. Ravi shouted, "There are too many. The ship can't defend all of us alone." But the alien ship responded, almost as if it understood his fear. Drones moved faster, energy shield projected around the lab, and defensive cannons activated autonomously. The humans realized that the ship was no longer just a tool. They were partners in a war machine. Alex raised his hands, focusing. The ship responded to his every thought. Energy beams formed into concentrated waves, slicing to the alien scouts with precision. Explosions lit up the desert night, and the sound of energy discharge echoed like thunder. Maria, her voice firm despite the fear, shouted, "Alex, they're adapting. They're learning from our attacks." Alex nodded grimly. "Then we adapt faster. Trust the ship. The battle intensified. Alien scouts came from every direction, firing energy pulses that could vaporize anything in seconds. The humans used the ship's intelligence to predict the aliens' movements. Energy shields expanded and contracted with incredible speed, deflecting blasts before they hit. Cannons fired with unerring accuracy, taking out multiple scouts at once. But the aliens were clever. They began coordinating their attacks, attempting to surround the humans and cut off the ship's line of defense. Alex noticed the holographic map shifting. Lines of energy indicated that the aliens were trying to outmaneuver them. He took a deep breath. Maria, Ravi, listen carefully. We'll create a trap. Use the ship to lure them into the canyon north of the lab. The energy beams will converge there. Maria nodded. Got it. I'll guide the drones. Ravi added, I'll control the cannons from the flank. They won't know what hit them. The humans executed their plan. The alien scouts took the bait, following the ship's projected movements. As they entered the canyon, the ship's AI synchronized every energy beam, cannon, and drone. A massive surge of power erupted, sending beams of light ricocheting across the canyon walls. The scouts were caught in the crossfire, destroyed in moments. Alex felt a mix of awe and fear. The humans had just achieved a first major victory with the alien ship, but he knew it was only the beginning. The scouts were small compared to the main fleet, and they would report back. The aliens would respond. Suddenly, a warning flashed across the control panel. A massive fleet was detected. Hundreds of ships, far larger and more powerful than the scouts. Their approach was rapid, and they were armed with devastating weapons. Maria's voice trembled. Alex, this isn't a drill. They're coming for Earth. Alex's eyes narrowed. Then we fight. This is what the ship has been preparing us for. We either defend Earth or we lose everything. The alien fleet entered the solar system, energy shields glowing along their hulls. They fired, and the sky lit up with a storm of destructive energy. The humans felt the ground shake under the force of the blasts. Ravi shouted, The lab won't hold for long. But the ship reacted instantly. Shields expanded to cover the entire facility. Energy beams fired automatically, and drones moved in precise formations. The humans realized that the ship was now fighting on its own, but still in perfect synchronization with them. Alex focused on the holographic map, directing the energy beams strategically. Concentrate on the lead ships. Take out their command center. We can't destroy them all, but if we disable their leaders... The ship hummed louder, pulsing in response to his commands. The drones moved with lightning speed, intercepting incoming attacks. Energy beams tore through the alien fleet, destroying lead ships and forcing the rest to scatter. Maria's eyes widened. It's working, we're winning. But the victory was temporary. One massive alien ship, larger than anything the humans had seen, broke through the defensive lines. Its energy weapons fired relentlessly, burning through the desert and threatening the lab. Alex clenched his fists. We can't let it reach Earth. The ship do what it knows best. The alien ship pulsed with a deep blue light. Energy beams focused, forming a massive wave that struck the incoming alien warship. The impact was catastrophic. The enemy vessel shattered into pieces, exploding in a brilliant display of light and fire. The humans cheered, but Alex remained wary. We won the first battle, but the war is far from over. They will come back, stronger and smarter, and we need to be ready. Maria nodded, her eyes reflecting both pride and fear. The ship, it's more than a weapon. It's alive, and it's fighting with us. Ravi added quietly, but for how long? Can we really control it if it keeps adapting on its own? Alex looked at the glowing ship, drones hovering silently around it. We don't control it entirely, but we are learning together, and if we survive this, humanity will never be the same again. As dawn broke over the desert, the humans stood among the wreckage of alien scouts and burned sand. The lab was intact, the ship unharmed, and the first battle was won. But Alex knew the fight had just begun. Somewhere in the void of space, the aliens were watching. Their scouts had reported back. The humans had awakened the abandoned ship, lured its secrets, and used its power. Now, the galaxy knew that Earth was no longer defenseless. The first battle was over, but the war was only beginning. and in the quiet of the lab, the alien ship hummed softly, lights pulsing, almost as if it were smiling. It had chosen its humans wisely. The first step in humanity's transformation into a galactic force had begun. The morning sun rose over the desert lab, casting long shadows across the scorched earth. Alex Carter and his team stood among the wreckage of the first alien battle, exhaustion and adrenaline mixing on their faces. The first victory had been hard-won, but the victory was only temporary. The holographic displays above the alien ship told a chilling truth. The main alien fleet was approaching, faster and larger than anything humans had ever seen. Maria stepped forward, her hands gripping the console. "Alex, they're almost here. If we're not ready, Earth could be destroyed." Alex nodded, jaw tight. "We've learned a lot since the ship woke up. It trusts us now, and we've learned to trust it. Today we fight not just for the lab or the desert, but for the planet." The ship pulsed, almost in response to his words. Blue light glowed across the lab, drones taking precise positions around the facility. Energy shields rose automatically, forming a protective dome around the desert. It was as if the ship understood every fear, every thought, and was preparing for battle with a calm intelligence humans could only marvel at. Ravi adjusted the controls. "We can't take them all head-on. We need strategy. If we coordinate the ship's weapons with Earth's defenses, we might stand a chance." Alex looked at the holographic map. The alien fleet was enormous. Hundreds of ships, many larger than the scouts they had destroyed. Their energy beams glowed red, their shields flickering with unknown technology. The stakes had never been higher. "Maria, begin mapping the trajectories," Alex ordered. "We'll divide the fleet, isolate the largest vessels first. Ravi, prep the energy cannon for maximum output. And the ship, do what it knows best." The ship hummed, drones swirling, energy cores glowing brighter than ever. It had learned from humans, adapting to their strategies. But now it was more than a weapon. It was a partner, a guardian, and possibly the only thing standing between Earth and annihilation. As the alien fleet entered Earth orbit, the first shots were fired. Beams of red energy streaked toward the planet, vaporizing mountains, creating shockwaves that shook the oceans. Humanity's early warning system scrambled jets and missiles, but most were ineffective against the alien shields. Alex raised his hands over the console. "Focus on the lead ship. We can destroy them all, but if we take out the leaders, the rest will falter." The ship responded instantly. Energy beams formed a lattice around the lab and extended into the sky, converging on the largest alien vessels. Drones shot forward, weaving between enemy fire, intercepting beams with incredible speed. Maria's voice trembled with excitement. "It's working. They can't touch us." But the aliens were clever. They began to coordinate attacks in a way humans hadn't anticipated, creating diversions, splitting forces, and targeting the ship directly. Energy beams slammed into the desert, vaporizing everything in their path. The lab shook violently. Ravi shouted, "They're trying to overwhelm the ship. If it goes down, we all go down." Alex didn't hesitate. He closed his eyes and focused on the ship, thinking not just commands, but intentions. The ship pulsed, energy flowing like liquid electricity through the lab. Drones formed a protective wall around the core. Shields expanded to absorb the blasts, and energy beams fired with precision that no human could have achieved alone. The first alien battleships were destroyed in moments. The largest vessels faltered, their formations breaking apart under the coordinated assault. Humanity had never seen such power, or such control. The ship seemed to anticipate every move, adapting faster than the aliens could react. Maria gasped, pointing at the holographic display. "Alex, look, the ship, it's predicting their attacks before they even make them." Alex nodded grimly. "It's not just fighting, it's learning. Every move we make, every strategy, it absorbs and improves. We're part of something bigger, something alive." The battle raged for hours. Alien energy beams cut through deserts and oceans, but the ship shielded Earth cities, protected key installations, and destroyed enemy vessels with devastating precision. The team coordinated with satellites and missile defenses, combining human technology with the ship's alien power. Then came the final moment. The flagship of the alien fleet, massive and bristling with weapons, approached Earth. Its shields were impenetrable, its firepower unmatched. For a moment, the humans felt fear like never before. If the flagship fired, much of Earth could be destroyed in seconds. Alex took a deep breath. This is it. The ship, it knows what to do. Follow its lead. The alien ship pulsed with intense blue light. Drones swarmed the flagship, mapping weaknesses, probing shields. Energy beams converged on a single point, focusing a massive surge of power. The humans watched, hearts pounding, as the ship unleashed a wave of energy so powerful it lit up the night sky. The flagship exploded in a brilliant flash, fragments scattering into space. The remaining alien vessels, leaderless and disoriented, retreated. Humanity had survived the first full-scale invasion. The desert was silent once more, except for the gentle hum of the alien ship. Maria whispered, awe in her voice. We did it. We really did it. Alex looked at the ship, its lights pulsing softly as if it were breathing. Yes, but this isn't the end. They will come back. And next time, it will be harder. Ravi added quietly. The ship, it's alive. It fought with us, but it also thinks for itself. We're partners now, but can we ever fully control it? Alex nodded slowly. We don't need to control it. We need to understand it and trust it. If it chose us to protect Earth, then we have a role to play, a responsibility. Outside, the first rays of dawn touched the desert. The humans stood among the wreckage of alien ships and scorched Earth. The lab was intact, the alien ship unscathed, and humanity had survived. But Alex knew that the galaxy had changed. Earth was no longer defenseless. Humans had awakened a power that could rival any alien force. The alien ship hummed, its drones hovering silently. Alex could feel its intelligence, its awareness. It had chosen its humans carefully, teaching them, preparing them, and now, protecting them. Humanity had a guardian unlike any other. Somewhere far in the void of space, distant alien observers detected the aftermath. Their scouts had reported back. Earth had awakened the abandoned ship, and humans had used it to repel the fleet. The galaxy had taken notice. Alex turned to his team. We've survived the first battle, but the war is not over. We've learned something crucial today. Humanity is stronger than we knew, and Earth is no longer weak. We have a guardian now, and we must respect it. Maria smiled faintly, exhaustion and relief in her eyes. Earth has a protector, and we are part of it, Ravi added. But the ship, it's more than we imagined. It thinks, it adapts, it chooses. One day, it may teach us even more or demand more from us. Alex looked at the glowing ship, drones forming a protective circle, lights pulsing rhythmically. Then we'll be ready. Whatever comes, Earth will fight. And with this guardian, we have a chance to survive anything. The desert was quiet once more. The humans had faced the stars and lived. The alien ship had transformed them, turning ordinary humans into a force that could protect the entire planet. Humanity had been given a chance, not just to survive, but to rise as a guardian of Earth. And somewhere in the galaxy, watchers observed the glowing blue pulse of the abandoned ship. Earth had awakened a power that no one had expected. The humans had claimed it, learned from it, and survived with it. The universe would never forget the day Earth's guardian awoke. The first wave of invaders had been defeated, but Alex knew one truth more than any other. The aliens would return. The galaxy was vast, and their curiosity and their anger would not be easily forgotten. The humans looked at the ship, their eyes reflecting the soft, pulsing blue light. They had mastered its power enough to protect Earth, but its mysteries remained. And one thing was certain, Earth would never be the same again. The ship hummed, drones circling in silent vigilance. Humanity had a guardian now, a force that could challenge the stars. And the galaxy had taken notice.